Greetings Approxs Nation, it's me Approxs and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be talking about how to get rare quickly, legitimate way 101 that no one talks about, 100% working, 2017-18, no clickbait. Anyways, so let's get straight into the video. But before we begin, I'd like to do a Christmas themed giveaway. Everyone loves Christmas. Also, I am probably like 4 days late. Awesome. That's just awesome. Sorry. I just couldn't make a video because I was exams going on and stuff. No excuses anymore. Point being, today is a large giveaway because we have 3 people doing the giveaway today, including me, Approxs, Ellipsity, and CU26581. That's a mouthful. Right, so all you have to do to enter this giveaway, subscribe to all 3 of us, right? Like the video and comment down your username along with how many times you see this exact gear icon right now. So yeah, basically today I'm going to be talking about some stuff that's going to get you rarer than the stuff I've talked before, because no one talks about this stuff. It really helps you get rare without even doing anything much, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't know what I'm saying, of course. Okay, so let's get started. So here's tip number 3. At tip number 3, we have be generous. Being generous is basically giving items to people who deserve them. For example, say if I found someone helping out someone, I'd give them a small rare or a rare wrist or something like that, depending on how rare you are. Making these small contributions is really what helps others see how nice of a person they are, and when others see how nice of a person you are, they're gonna reward you. And those rewards are good. Trust me. I know exactly how they are. Okay, what the hell is wrong with me? I sound really deep. But the thing is, you don't expect any rewards for the things you do. I don't help someone expecting somebody to give me rares. That is not how it works. Please don't put me in jail. That is not what I meant. I mean help people, and in a little while you are ensured to get rewards for it. Not necessarily through people giving you rares, but it's karma, you know. Karma will give you your rares back and maybe even add some more in, you know what I'm saying? Right, so that brings me to tip number 2. At tip number 2 we have jump in with the bandwagon. Sounds lame. Let me explain. So basically, during certain times of certain let's say rarity spikes, you can jump into the bandwagon and get a lot rarer than you currently are. So what I really mean by this is, let's take for example around last year when alpha swords were really rare and were gaining rarity like hugely at one time, and I think it tripled at one time almost, and then it started going down. But the people who got it, when very few people knew about their value and traded probably like 3 black longs, were able to trade it for around 2 lightwing headlesses. I am not kidding. It is absolutely ridiculous how people made profit off of this. And now, I mean, promos values goes down, you know, and now it's barely, I think, a DPHD or something like that. So point being, trade for items that are popular. Right now I think there are charms, I guess. There's something new, I don't know. Should probably do some research on that. And then once you've traded a small amount, or you know, just bargain with the person who owns it, they don't necessarily not have to know what it's worth. You must tell the person or else it's pretty much scamming them. But you don't need to tell them about how much it's gonna be worth. It's just tell them that it might be valuable. Boom, that's it. So when you trade for these items at a lower value, you can actually wait until it rises to a higher value, and then once you hear people saying it might go down, it's worthless, and it's still at that point, it's still valuable, you trade it away for the most profit, right? I mean, maybe it will go up even more, but unless you're really a big risk taker, I wouldn't really suggest doing that either. Of course. So that's tip number 2. And now we move on to tip number 1. this one is probably extremely controversial, and I probably shouldn't even be talking about it. But tip number 1 is play Animal Jam less. Don't quit it, play Animal Jam less. And we're gonna have Ellipsity talking a little bit about that soon. Right, so here is why, exactly why. So I think I play 4 hours of Animal Jam in a day. I actually had a point where I was doing that. It was pretty ridiculous if you ask me. And I would be trading a lot of the time, say around 45% of the time that I was playing Animal Jam for 4 hours. I would be fixated onto a value of an item. For example, a black long was around 60 10 betas around that time. And your mind would be conformed and strictly ruled upon a value of a particular item. And you see, once you're primed, okay, let me explain this. Basically, once your brain or you assess and put a value to an item, it's very tough to change it unless we encounter various other people really talking about its value increasing or decreasing, right? So if you play for too long and if you trade for too long, here's the ironic part, you actually are more likely to make bad trading decisions. I am not kidding, you are more likely. Why? You don't have a new perception. And how did I come to know about this? Well, I did it myself. I stopped playing Animal Jam, not completely, but I cut my time by around 3/4, and it made a hell of a lot of difference, of course. So try it yourself. If you play for 4 hours a day, start cutting down slowly, and you will see an awesome difference in your trading, as well as what Ellipsity is going to talk about very soon from now. So if you play around 4 hours a day, don't directly skip to 2. You're gonna have problems. Not like you already don't, but you're gonna have more problems. Alright? So you cut down slowly. So let's say one day you play 4 hours, next day you cut down by 15 minutes, and make sure that you're playing for 3 hours and 45 minutes. And the next day you play for 3 hours and 30 minutes, and the next day you play for 3 hours and 15 minutes, and so on. And basically get to the point where you are no longer addicted, basically, because addiction is really something that cements your perception on stuff. That's not only Animal Jam, but in your entire life. And while you're wasting your time trading and cementing your perception of items, you can rather be doing much more useful things with your life and Animal Jam at the same time. So that's something that I took a while to learn, and you should probably start doing that as well. Just don't quit, just reduce your time. Even if you're planning about quitting, just cut it down to a very low level of playing. And trust me, it will completely change how you look at this. So that being said, now we're gonna have Ellipsity talking, and don't forget to subscribe to Ellipsity and see you do it 268581. The links will be in the description down below. Don't forget to enter the giveaway and watch out for that icon. It'll be right here. It also includes the first one and this one in your account. And over to Ellipsity.
Thanks, Approxs. I'm gonna express my views now on why I think rares are really not that big of a deal. I mean, if you are here solely for the rares on Animal Jam, if you're just here for the rares and you have a great life offline and you don't even think you have any flaws, maybe you ought to click off this video. Okay, so let's see. Let's start off with some facts. Animal Jam started the rare economy back in 2012, just as a fun addition to the game's educational framework. But as time went on, it became more and more apparent that the main focus of the game was rares. Today, popularity is almost directly related to how rare you are, and all these updates from Animal Jam are just about new spikes or new rares and yada yada yada. We've come to a point where there's a social difference between rare and non-rare people. Rare people hang out in groups with other rare people, and same for non-rare people. It's like people who have the most rares automatically go to the top of the social ladder that we have in Animal Jam. So how does this relate to you? Well, simple. If you are desperate for rares, you will spend hours upon hours playing AJ. Just have a look at how much you play. If you play for more than 2 hours at a time, that's a problem. Why? You're spending hours and hours on AJ daily, trading for rares. And what does AJ2 get from that? Well, it understands that more people want rares in the game, so they release more rares when updates. They release more rares, so further widening that gap. If you really want to have a good life, then maybe limit your time on Animal Jam. Don't quit the game, but limit your time on there, and you'll see how much that improves your life. See, my opinion on rares is they've never mattered to me, ever. I prefer to give them to people who deserve them, people who don't brag about them, people who don't act like they're on the top of a social ladder when they get them. Basically those who are humble and just like the items for the items, not for their rarity, not for the popularity you'll gain from having that item. I've never been for that, so I just give them to people who want them and who deserve them, not people who are going to use them to feel better about themselves. Absolutely not. But I personally have never needed rares or cared for them, so that's just my opinion.